Forward. In Part 1, Dr. Kapp explained how a lack of integration between the prefrontal cortex and the limbic system allows words to have a physiological reaction on the human organism akin to reality. In Part 2, he explained that the root cause of disease and aging is stress, much of which is caused by words. In this final part, Dr. Ron lists many of the toxins that cause stress and disease and aging and how to heal yourself. The forms of stress that affect the human brain are many, from the glyphosate on your blueberries to the coconut whipping cream on your pumpkin pie, from the diesel exhaust of that 18-wheeler to the chlorine in your shower. It matters little from where or what poison has impacted your body. Living on planet Earth today with our nearly 100,000 man-made and highly toxic chemicals, or from being bombarded by the cellular disrupting EMFs of TV, cell phone, and computers, we did not evolve under these chronic stressors. Everyone's burden is different, unique, and personalized. So too the treatment. Even the burden of words that we listen to on a daily basis affect each of us individually and in a body-specific manner. It has been said that all stress arises from within, and that our reactions and our ability to de-stress and detoxify is individually controlled. How we respond to any words of tyranny is up to each of us, but that response is in fact based on the new science of amygdala to prefrontal cortex nexus. Therefore, optimal brain health demands optimal neuronal connections, enhanced neurogenesis, and appropriate levels of neurotransmitters. Thus, a personalized treatment plan. Here's a brief account sent to me on how individually specific and personally unique the stress response can be. Quote, "So I myself have experienced the detrimental health effects of too much stress. Back in 2004, I was completely overloaded at work. They piled on way too many projects for me to oversee. I started having a shoulder twitch. My shoulder would suddenly jump and I couldn't stop or hide it. Then one day, I fainted, just out of nowhere. I completely blacked out. Luckily, I was not hurt when I fell. Anyway, I had all kinds of examinations done to try and find out why I had fainted. And they couldn't find anything wrong. No tumors in my brain, my heart checked out fine, etc. Then the doctor asked me, 'Are you under a lot of stress?' I answered, 'Yes, definitely.' He then told me that stress could do strange things to the body and that I should do something to reduce my stress level. So I went to my boss and told him I couldn't continue to try and handle the workload. It was just too much. Luckily, they listened to me and took away about a third of the projects I was trying to lead. Within a few months, the shoulder twitches went away and I was able to start sleeping better." End quote. If only it was always so easy to counter the tyranny of words. Less work, less stress. Unfortunately, it is not always clear-cut, and ferreting out the many causes of stress is often fraught with confusion and anger. Patience is a virtue. Enter the doctor with the silver bullet, sleeping pill, or antidepressant, and voila, the symptom is resolved. But sadly, not the cause, only the symptom. Little can be resolved until the cause, the instigating factor, the etiology, so to speak, has been identified and lessened. Detoxification is paramount in all treatment. We may cut out the tumor, but if the patient continues to smoke, wellness is elusive. We may prescribe insulin to the type 2 diabetic, but if the patient continues the lifestyle that caused the disease, progressive deterioration accelerates year after year. We may change our diet, but if we keep our alcohol bin stocked, Alzheimer's looms scarily on the horizon. Although treatment should be personalized, individualized, unique, and specific, it is also possible to undertake a generalized plan of attack to circumvent the tyranny, the stress, or even the cellular damaging effects of the multinational chemical companies' plot to kill us all. Treatment. What can be done to alleviate the allostatic overload is an exciting, fun, and life-altering time of experimentation. Similar to the societal experiment of the 60s, when peace, love, and harmony made Woodstock a lifestyle, today's desire for wellness, longevity, and optimal brain performance draws many with the hope that natural products, safe technology, and improved machine learning with patient-specific algorithms will lead to a bright and healthy future. In the process of seeking wellness, everyone learns more about that elusive mind-body connection and what it means to overcome the tyranny of words, toxicity, stress, and more. Modulating the activity of the prefrontal cortex to the limbic system, assisting the prefrontal neurons with an improved top-down control, or attenuating the amygdala's influence as we dampen the bottom-up control, will mitigate the pathophysiological harms of living on today's planet Earth. The simple and well-known techniques of no longer watching CNN or Fox News, taking a daily walk, sleeping a full 8 hours without interruptions of sleep apnea, spending dopamine-boosting time with friends and family, avoiding as much as possible the ubiquitous toxins and poisons from those foreign and domestic chemical factories that overload our liver and increase beta amyloid production in our hippocampus, or perhaps even changing to a Mediterranean-style diet with only a small glass of French resveratrol. Those are the treatments everyone knows about. The beauty of modern science has demonstrated the profound wisdom of nature. A fundamental driving force for all health is based on the concept of interconnected systems. In other words, an event in one system affects many other distant body systems. The pressure of stress can therefore be manifest in a variety of tissues and organs. For example, the stress of too much work, while it could show up as a shoulder twitch, it could have just as easily manifested as anxiety or depression, or hypertension and heart disease, or even function as the incipient factor for a cancer. The uniqueness of each human, like snowflakes in winter, present as something special for each of us. But always remember that we are holistic beings and everything is connected to everything else. However, what all have in common is the role of the brain. All stress and all disease are under the umbrella of brain health. I believe that a logical solution is an a la carte selection that is efficacious yet minimizes side effects and long-term repercussions. In other words, what might be needed by one person may not be needed by the other person. Many of these natural products can be used in a standalone fashion. Others may be integrated with standard allopathic therapies. The tyranny of words is a decoupling of different areas in the brain. Quite commonly, this is a response to stress and a lack of homeostasis with subsequent disequilibrium in the neurochromonal control of behavior. Natural therapies can gently guide the human brain and either upregulate or downregulate the connections between the prefrontal cortex and the limbic system. Maybe, just maybe, there's a solution to why we have war after war after war. That is the challenge of society. Summary. Dr. Kapp has explained that the source of disease and even aging is a result of toxicity. We are being poisoned both externally and internally. External poison comes in the form of exposure to chemicals in our environment. These include fluoride in our water, heavy metals in the air spread by chemtrails, pesticides on our fruits and vegetables, GMO foods that cause plants to create their own internal poison to resist bugs and bacteria, poison in your shampoo, soap, toothpaste, makeup, plastic water bottles, and sunscreen. Then there is the toxic poison of pharmaceuticals and the proven cancer-inducing effects of electromagnetic frequencies of Wi-Fi and now 5G. The treatment is something you've all heard 100 times before. Drink lots of pure water, eat foods you've grown yourself or have sourced locally, don't take prescription drugs, get rid of all the lotions and cleaners, laundry detergents, dryer sheets, and use only natural soap. Then throw away your smartphone, turn off your TV and computer, and finally, spend some more time in nature. The second source of toxins comes from stress that is created internally by our mind through the medium of words. Through some strange quirk of evolution we don't really understand, our brains process words as reality. One theory that is echoed by many philosophers and spiritual teachers is that most people are under hypnosis, in a semi-trance state. It is like the Las Vegas show Hypnotist that has members of the audience come up on stage, then when he snaps his finger and says the word chicken, they all start behaving like chickens. In a similar manner, the college professor snaps her finger and says, "You're a socialist." Or the religious leader snaps his finger and says, "You're a sinner." Or the TV spokesmodel snaps her finger and says, "You're a consumer." The psychopaths that run things know all about the trance state that the mass of humanity is under and have perfected the art of hypnosis using words and images. They use this art to exploit and enslave humanity. It has gotten so bad that every exposure to popular culture creates cognitive dissonance between the reality we experience and the reality words have created. This is the source of the internal stress that is aging us before our time, growing cancers and tumors, eroding our joints and heart muscles, destroying our brain functions so we descend into senility and dementia. The preventative treatment is the ability to control your emotional reaction to words and examine data critically. Dr. Kapp would describe this ability as a result of the integration between the prefrontal cortex and the hippocampus. Philosophers would describe this ability as being awake and aware. To find out more about Dr. Kapp and his book on longevity and anti-aging, check the link in the description below. Thank you.